good rebounder for a small guy. Mullen got up quickly.
Yeah, he did. He took a pretty good shot there. I mean, Charles laid the hammer on him. And Chris crashed into that support and didn't want to make any trouble with Charles. Great lead pass on the bounce. Now watch him. Watch Charles. Wacko. Boom. He just tomahawked him across the left of his shoulder. Drove him down to the ground and into that support. That was a pretty severe foul there.
Big league foul for Sir Charles.
Yeah, that was one that brought the coaches off the bench. All three of them standing over there. Mike Schuller. Yeah. Gary St. Jean. I mean, they're not happy about that play. They could ill afford to lose.
On Shunas Marciulionis, he does have a sprained right thumb, but they do think he'll be able to return to action. He's got ice on it right now. Mullen hits them both.
That's the kind of foul that you really don't like to see that taken. I guarantee you Charles would have been real upset if he was hit that way.
25 points in the first half now for Chris Mullen. Kaminsky muscling his way in. He got fouled. Looks like Ron Higgins got him.
Mike looks like he may have hurt himself, strained something, or I don't know, hurt his hand, done something. He's grimacing a bit, trying to stretch himself out. I don't know what it was, but he did something that didn't quite come out the way he wanted it.
Kaminsky with 6 points on the night. He's 2 of 2 from the line. He can pull Philadelphia back to within 1. Golden State up by 2. And once again, it's a one-point game. This game is seesawed back and forth throughout the half. We've had 10 lead changers in this first half. Mullen has had a sensational half of 25 points. Higo with the assist from Mullen that time. Higo with 12. Golden State has that lead built back to 3. Tried to tip it right back to Dawkins. And there's a payback, if you can call it that.
I wouldn't say that was anywhere close.
Maybe not as strong as Sir Charles, and maybe not as dangerous at times as Sir Charles.
Well, watch the way Charles gets that position inside, just able to back Teagle, and that's when he knocked it out. Now, look at what he does here. Look how he'll hold off with the leg. Hold off, hold them off, hold them off. Now he pushes him, got away with the push, overcomes Mullen to play defense, and he hit him pretty good, but nothing like the shot that he received from Charles down the other end.
Meanwhile, Charles Barkley has not missed a shot tonight. He's perfect from the field. He's perfect from the line. He has 16 points. He has 7 rebounds to go along with those 16 points.
I noticed Chris got a bit of a cut on his right arm, just on the inside part of his wrist, about 2-3 inches up from his hand area. Shaking that right hand, still shaking it now. Fortunately, it's not a shooting hand.
Barkley now with 17. Golden State up by 1. A minute 23 remaining in the half. Mullen underneath. 2 more. He has 27 points in this first half.
Now, see, Chris is not fast. He's not quick, but he's very deceptive, and he set that play up beautifully.
Besides the 27 points, he's also pulled down 5 rebounds, and he's dished off 5 assists. Mahorn missing. Smith follows. Darren Smith now has 7. Golden State holding on to that 1-point lead.
I know Golden State would like to get the lead at the halftime. Philadelphia is 25-4 when they go into the half of the lead this season. The percentages work real well with them when they go in as leaders.
Hardaway using some clock here. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. About 40 seconds left in the quarter. Down to 3 seconds left on the shot clock. They better hurry. Teagle, did he get it off in time? He did not.
Plus, he traveled. They wait a little too long. You can't wait the 6 seconds and be, 25, 28 feet from the basket.
Greg Sager standing by in our Atlanta studios. He'll bring you up to date with all the scores and highlights on our Prudential Halftime Show. First of a doubleheader tonight. We've got the Bulls and the Lakers coming up next. See if the third try is a charm. It's not. Rebound pulled away by Golden State. Hardaway on the run. He'll take it himself. Tim Hardaway has scored all of his points. And he has 12 of them in this second quarter. Golden State by 3. Less than 10 seconds. Smith hits the basket. He has 9, but looks like Golden State's going to be able to go into halftime with a 1-point lead, maybe more. If that one goes for Winston Garland, it won't. But a good first half. These two teams really battling it out. Leads changing 10 times in this first half. It's Golden State 65, Philadelphia 64.
With the Warriors leading the Sixers by 1, welcome to the Prudential Halftime Report. The Boston Celtics are at home tonight against the Charlotte Hornets, with the crowd buzzing over Larry Bird's consecutive free throw streak that began back on December 19th and is now 68 and counting. Gene Littles of Charlotte knows you don't foul Bird, or it's as good as putting 2 points on the scoreboard. But here, Kelly Tripucka gets a 3-pointer. Tripucka with 19 points so far in the game. Larry Bird, they say, has eyes in the back of his head. There's proof right there. A pass to Reggie Lewis. Lewis, the leading scorer in the game with 24. Meanwhile, Kevin McHale has found a new weapon this year, the 3-pointer. He does it again. He only had 1 part of this year. He's already got 5 this season. And Boston with a big lead, 102-75 in the third quarter. The New Jersey Nets have lost 9 in a row at home tonight against the Utah Jazz, who are playing without all-star guard John Stockton, which means that Jerry Sloan has got to make some adjustments. He put Delaney Rudd into the starting lineup. First of all, bad defense by Utah. That's unusual because they are one of the best defensive teams in the league. The basket by Chris Morris, but then Karl Malone goes to the hoop past Chris Shackelford. And then look at Karl Malone. Is he an all-star or what? Look at this play. Makes the steal, over the head pass to Delaney Rudd, who has 11 points subbing for Stockton. And Utah on the road winning by 11. Later tonight, Seattle at home after 3 consecutive victories by a total of 4 points. And right here on TNT, Michael Jordan and the Bulls against Magic Johnson and the Lakers. Down report. All-Star Weekend has received a slam dunk, tossing his name into the hat. Former Gatorade Slam Dunk champion Dominique Wilkins. After sitting out last year, Dominique will challenge the reigning champion Kenny Walker of the Knicks. And there are a half dozen other slamming, jamming challengers, including Kenny Battle, Rex Chapman, Sean Kemp, Scottie Pippen, Kenny Smith, and Billy Thompson. Lou Edwards and Otis Smith have both dropped out with injuries. The American Airlines ITT Sheridan Shootout showcases a showdown between the NBA's most exciting sharpshooters, Michael Jordan of the Bulls and Larry Bird, the 3-time champion, who's back after a 1-year absence. Competing against Bird and Jordan, Craig Elo, Bobby Hansen, Craig Hodges, Reggie Miller, Mark Price, and the local favorite from Miami, John Sunfold. Be sure to join us not only for a preview on Friday night, but for All-Star Saturday night, the Schick Legends Classic, the American Airlines ITT Sheridan Shootout, and the Gatorade Slam Dunk Championship. Whether you're talking about the legends or the rookies, the NBA or the Italian League, the man who has seen them all is Marty Blake, the NBA Director of Scouting. He'll join us at halftime of Game 2 for an evaluation of last June's NBA Draft.
Making it great inside the NBA. Brought to you by Pizza Hut.
Welcome to Inside the NBA. One of the most expensive places in the country in which to live is the San Francisco Bay Area. So what's a Warrior to do when he finds himself house hunting? He heads for what is probably the most unique residential community in the NBA. Our Paul Ryden dropped in for a visit.
Think of the world's great cities, and you might think of places like London, Paris, Alameda, Tokyo. Huh? That's in Japan. Oh, Alameda. Come with me. It's right here, an island paradise in San Francisco Bay. No, not Alcatraz, it's Alameda. Say it after me.
Alameda.
Good. Now, you may ask yourself, what's so special about Alameda?
What's so special about Alameda?
Well, it's quiet, nice atmosphere. I guess a lot of teammates live over there, so it's, you know, it's not far to go to their house if they have a little meeting there or something.
You're right on the water. There's a lot of exercising to do. There's tennis and golf, and there's about anything you want to do there. And there's a lot of young families that live there. It's perfect.
Warriors coach Don Nelson should know he lives in Alameda, as do 10 of his 12 players and a city-sized portion of the Warriors front office. That's why Alameda is special. Here's a better picture of it. This is the island city of Alameda. This part of Alameda has come to be known as Warriors Village. They live here. Not actually here on the map, but you know what I mean. One of the distinctive attributes of Alameda is its Victorian charm. It's a small town with a small town flavor. In fact, it even has the proverbial corner drugstore.
It's a quiet, old-fashioned town. It still has a downtown people walk through. It's very quiet. Good feeling of security here.
Nothing but a few sirens and a bus. That's all I've heard so far.
Hey, that's a big night on Alameda. That's about it.
Well, all that stuff's fine, but what's really important for the Warriors who live here is Alameda's convenience. It's about 5 miles to the airport, and it's about 7 miles to the arena. I mean, you could practically jog here from Alameda, but I don't recommend it. Just to the east of Alameda, through the tunnel, lies Oakland's Chinatown. Pretty ethnic, right? That's nothing compared to Alameda, where all 3 of Golden State's international players have taken up residence: Manute Bol of the Sudan, Šarūnas Marčiulionis of Lithuania, and Uwe Blab of West Germany. Yes, it's quite a place, Alameda, the jewel of the East Bay, the kind of town about which great songs are penned.
I left my heart in Alameda.
Then again, maybe not.
And we're happy to report for the residents of Alameda that Paul Ryden was just visiting. He does not plan to live there. A couple of updates for you. First of all, the Boston Celtics red hot. Remember, they had 43 points in the first quarter. That was their biggest output in 2 seasons. Already they have 118. Charlotte obviously not playing very much defense. And Larry Bird is 2 for 2 for the free throw line. He now has 68 consecutive free throws dating back to December 19th. The all-time record set by Calvin Murphy is 78. We'll keep you updated. Also, Utah playing without John Stockton, but getting a good game from Delaney Rudd on top of New Jersey third quarter, 82-69. Later tonight, don't forget, Game 2 of our NBA Extra. Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls taking on Magic Johnson and the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers back home after last night's victory in overtime over Portland. That gave the Lakers a game-and-a-half lead in the Pacific Division. But still ahead, Game 1 the second half. The Philadelphia 76ers, going for their 13th win in a row, are behind by a point at halftime. Let's go back to Pete and Rick.
Okay, thank you, Craig. There's your score, 65-64, Golden State on top, and it's always nice to have a lead at halftime when you're on the road, Rick Barry, but Don Nelson also has to be happy about the fact that it's his kind of ball game, a high-scoring, back-and-forth kind of game. That's the way Golden State plays. That's not the way Philadelphia plays.
No, Jimmy Lyon, I'm not really happy now because he didn't win a game about 130 points, and right now he's concerned because that's the pace that the Warriors are on. And, of course, one of the reasons they're on that pace that Chris Mullin had a great first half. You see 25, 27 points over his average already. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, a big factor for the Warriors. Here's one of the baskets that Chris Mullin got in the first half. He was hitting from the outside. All he made that good backdoor cut, nice pass, and reverses for that left-handed layup. Chris Mullin on his way to a big night so far here. The field goal percentages, when Philadelphia lets somebody shoot over 50%, they can have some problems. But look at 58% for Philly. That's because Charles Barkley was 7 for 8, 17 points, 7 rebounds for him in the first half. He helped to keep the 76ers right in the ball game. One of the things the 76ers did so well was they got out on the break and controlled that part of the ball game quite well, getting 24 points to only 20 for Golden State off of the break situations. And here's an opportunity that they got. Long rebound. They had done some also break opportunities off of good defense. They worked the ball down the court quickly. Dawkins, look away, pass over to Anderson for an easy 2 points. Those type of baskets will give you a 58% percentage. And the big question to me is, can the bench of the Warriors come through in the second half? Look at Philadelphia, 26-2 off the bench. It's a lot of burden for the Warrior starters to be able to have that kind of a ball game for 48 minutes. They need some help off the bench if they're going to hope to win this game.
They really do. In that first half, Golden State had only 4 players score all but 2 of their points. You know about Mullen. He scored 27. Well, Teagle scored 12. Hardaway scored 12. Richmond scored 12. The only player off the bench that scored all was Rod Higgins, who scored 2. So they've only had 5 players score points.
Well, look at this, though, Pete. We have 28 minutes of playing time for the guys off the bench, and they only all collectively, those 4 players who played, only took 4 shots. They've got to look to produce a little bit when they come in the ball game.
On the other side of the spectrum, literally, Philadelphia 76ers have had 9 different players contribute to their 64-point first half.